Hello folks, Sam Owens here, and I've got a great VEVOR product, a variable speed bench grinder. Each of the wheels is 8 inches, 2,000 RPM wheel speed to 3,400 RPM. So you're going to be able to do all of those grinding needs that you want that take different speeds to get the best results. So I'm putting it on the lowest speed. These are the guards that we're going to put in place that's going to protect your eyes from sparks and all of the product coming off that you're grinding. You also have batteries here because you have 2 lights here, one for this side and one for the other. And the batteries go in. We will put them in because you got 4 batteries, 2 in each one. You've got these 2 braces that are going to be mounted here, which is going to mount tool rest. I'm sorry, these are tool rest, and these are the protectors that are going to mount up here. And also you get a little place to put some water in, because when you're grinding things, they're going to get extremely hot, and this is a way of cooling things down with a little water. It's a great idea. They've thought of everything. So you only need a Phillips screwdriver to do the job, and it's very simple, but there are a couple of places that you need to pay attention, because there is such a thing as a left and a right, and also you get this tool rest is also it's a drill bit shaper. To do the best job, you should have a jig for a drill bit, but this will dress a drill bit up if you need to, and especially designed for the drill bit to rest in there. It should mount on the left-hand side, and if you notice, you got a cutout right there, which is supposed to be toward the wheel, and there's a space that you want to get close to, and that's 1/8 of an inch between the tool rest and the edge of the blade. We're going to go through that. I just wanted to mention those 2 criteria. This is mounted on the left, and then you have a regular tool rest that mounts on the right. The other, this right here, the bracket, there's a left and right bracket, which I will explain, that these tool rests mounts on. The rest is okay. No left and right. All right, I don't have it plugged in, and we can work on it with safety. One other thing I want to point out right now is right here is, and I have it unplugged so I can turn it on, and you notice it's a guard here. You can't accidentally turn this on. It has to, your finger has to go inside of this bracket. Now, right here it says remove to lock. You pull this out, and actually this end is what activates the switch. With this out, notice you cannot turn this on at all. So if you have kids around home and you want to really protect this from them being able to turn it on, you keep the key handy for your use. Okay, but right here we're going to plug that in, so now it's ready to use. Okay, so that's a good feature. And let's begin by looking at the user manual, which a tool like this, you should read the whole tool manual, or the user manual, because there will be a lot of safety and requirements that you want to meet for your safe working. Right here they show the assembled unit with everything on it, and then over here, know your bench grinder, they identify all of the parts. Okay, coolant tray, and the right tool rest and left tool rest, as we pointed out, and then the eye shields, and then the lights. So right over here, safety guidelines and power tool safety. If you're not really familiar with using a lot of power tools and you thought this was a good idea, you always want to read the user manual on tools. You'll be surprised what you can learn that are important. And they tell you various things about the use of the grinding wheel. And one specific thing that they talk about is not to use the side of the wheel to grind. Use the front face, the round portion of it. And there are grinding wheels that are designed to be used on the side. So those are kind of things that you will read and are very important if you're not familiar with grinders. That would, and everybody should read them with all the cautions and everything. They give you unpacking and they show you all the parts that you get and they identify the parts. They did a really good job on the manual, and I see it's easy to follow. And assembly and adjustments right here is where we're going to start. Installing tool rest, and there's 3 steps to putting that tool rest on, and these are the two tool rests, and we'll be using those also to support it along with the thumb screws. All right, let's begin with it. I'll just open this up and get to going. All right, the first thing is we're going to take the right one, and that's this one right here, and you orientate it with this toward that, like that, okay? And then you want to take the screw here, and I'll just use this one. You get a washer for each one of these, and you use this right here in this first step, and you put it into this area right here. You got to have this one, so let's just lay it out like the sheet shows, just like this. And then this shows mounted like this. And what we're going to do is you'll be putting this into there. And it can be tilted all the way around. So right now we're going to try and get it to where it's straight like that. And then with the washer, you stick this in, and then you just tighten this up. Okay, hold her in position, and later you can make adjustments. We just got to put it in place, and I'm going to put it just like that, and not real tight. Okay, you got 2 slots right here, and on the side, the next step is we've got to go to this part right here, and you unscrew this, and watch out, there's a washer and a lock washer here. You hold this side right here, that's the end of the screw, and then you can take the washer, a flat washer, and a lock washer. And then what you want to do is take this, already assembled, and there's a tab right here. Okay, a tab right here and the screw there, and this top one is going on the screw, the tab is going down there. So this is very important that you get this adjusted correctly. And let's see, right there. Okay. So all you have to do is get the washer and the flat washer. Let's get it on first. Now notice my finger is on the other side. It's more awkward for me to try and show you. Okay, now. Okay, with both of those on, then I take this and screw it onto the screw while I hold the other end. Now I'm going to have to move this around so that I can get to it. So you may not be able to see it exactly, but you can tell what I'm doing. And right here, I squeeze both my thumb and forefinger together while I turn this, and it goes on really nice that way, I found. Okay. Now, you want this loose enough that you can slide this later. So what this has to do, loosen her up just a little bit. And you don't have that many threads. That's what I don't understand. Okay, see how far I've got it right there. Now you can push this in, and you want 1/8 of an inch between those two. So you will move this back, and you want it down because you're going to be pressing down, and then you can adjust this later. So there's a little adjustment. We'll do that later. Right now we've got them in position, and this is far enough away that we can do the other one. We do the same thing. We take, and this is going to mount like this, if you'll notice, and they don't really show it in the picture. They only show the right one, but you always know you want this cut out toward there, and so this end is going to be out this way. So first thing you have to do is loosen this up. This will be the same, but it's turned around. Okay, and then you pull these off, and be careful, they will drop out, and then you're going to be hunting for washers. Okay, and then put that back in, and make sure the square end is in the square hole. All right, now what we need to do is put this in. Now again, this is going to go up like this, and they show this going up in the picture when you assemble it. And again, this is where the screw's going, and the tab is going down there. So it's going to be sitting straight out. So I put it just like that, and it'll sit there. But first thing I needed to do, before I do that, I should do just like I did the other one, is you put those like that. And then I need my washer. And screw these together. And that way it kind of gives you something to guide with by putting these together like that. Okay, and just firmly. Now, she's just like the other one. And now again, this is the screw slot, that's the tab slot. And I'm going to put my head in there, and let's see, just like that. Okay, now, and then put the washer and the lock washer on. And now while I hold the screw, I push in, because they didn't really give you a lot of threads. And what I'm going to do is like I did before, and I'm going to move this around. I found if you squeeze it between there, then turn, and you can squeeze, then you'll be able to turn the screw, because you're compressing the little lock washer. Okay, there's enough that I got to back it off just a little bit so I can move see, I can move it now. And see, you could have it up. You always want it down because you're going to be pushing down on this. There's also an arrow showing the direction that this is going to go. So it's always pushing down on the end of the stock you're trying to grind. So this will be always pushed down. Okay. Now we'll get to the point of adjusting. For the folks that don't know what 1/8 of an inch is, on any ruler, 1/8 of an inch is that first heavy line right there. That's 1/4 of an inch. I'm just in case. Okay? And a 1/16, they mentioned that in there, is the next smallest line. There's 2 lines that makes up a 16. All right, and they mentioned 16th. It can go down to that point, but you need to keep it toward 1/8 of an inch between here and the cutting wheel. So now I'm going to, I like to start from the inch, and I've got to move this in. And so what I'm going to do is move it in, and I got to move it back a little bit. Loosen this up just a little bit. Kind of rock it a little bit helps. And then I do my, okay. That is a 1/8 of an inch right down in there, and that will be good. And then you lock all these down, and we will do the other one the same way, but I don't think I need to show you that one. I'll do it myself later. 4 holes here, and you have these rubber pads which really hold it, and it's got little nodules or knobs on it which really are going to grip and keep it from walking. But it's a good idea if you're going to do some serious grinding that you want to mount this on a plate. I'm not going to mount it for the demonstration that I'm going to show, and I may try to put something on it to grind, but I am not going to do any heavy-duty grinding, just a simple little demonstration. Now we've got to finish. The next step is to mount the spark guard, or the eye shield spark guard. That was this, and the eye shield is right here. First thing we need to do is put some batteries in it, and let's just do that. Now you just take this little tab and pull up on it, and this whole little cover comes off, and it's just standard the way you'd normally put batteries in. And there's a little push button there. Let's just see what happens. It's on and off. Okay, there's no left or right or anything, but the way this goes is obviously the light is going to come toward your work area. There's 2 screws here, and you will take those out, and that's what's going to mount magnetic. So, and there's a lock washer and a flat washer on there. It looks like they like to do that. Okay. Now you don't want that down far, as it's going to hit the wheels. Let's see, they show, yeah, since this knob is on this side, and you need to move this in, you can tighten that up. You want the other knob on the other side. And get this on through to where it's just the way you need it. Okay, folks, I don't have any heavy-duty gloves, but this is something I have for some of my other tools. Just to be able to hold this, I'm not going to get it so hot that it's going to burn my hand, but you should have eye protection and some kind of gloves or a tool to hold this. But for the demonstration of maybe I'm just going to round this edge on these ends just to give a demonstration, okay? Now here is the little cooling tray that you would have water in. Don't think I need that, but it would go right there. And now I'm going to take this, and it's off. I'm going to plug it in, and this is about almost 40 pounds, 37 pounds, and it is pretty heavy, so I don't think I'm going to be able to push it off of my bench here. All right, I'm going to use the heavy-duty grit. I think it's 80. This is 36 grit, and this is 80 grit. I'm going to use the 80 right now. I've got the lowest setting on the unit, And I'm going to just put my hand up here and turn this on. And it's going to take a little bit of time to get up to speed. I feel a slight vibration, but once it gets up to speed, it's nice and smooth. It's not dancing around. Now I'm going to go up with the speed control. There. Boy, yeah, it's really balanced up nice. And it's doing job. I'm about halfway between the adjustment here. And I'm going to try that right there and see if I can do this. Let me put my light on. And there we go. All right, here. Yes. Okay, let's see. Wow, yeah. Okay, let me try it across here. I'm not digging in hard because it's not mounted. And it did a pretty good job there. Let's try this one. It would be better to have long sleeve shirts on. And they do say to use proper clothing. Okay, I'm going to go up. High speed. Yep, there we go. And I see you could do a pretty good job taking off whatever you needed. All right. I did do what I wanted, is to make those rounded. And I could match this one right here. Let me just do that. Look at that. Okay, let's go. Okay, a little bit more. I think it's pretty good. Right there. Okay, and I can dress it up. And it says to always, never do it straight on. Always use the tool rest when you're grinding. Okay, let me turn this thing down to the lowest and I'm going to turn it off. Now, there are no brakes on this, so this could take a little while to wind down at the RPM it was. So that's the one thing about it, is you're going to have a little time to wind down. And but I think it's a great little grinder, a big grinder, 8-inch. This could do a lot of jobs around the shop. And lawnmower blades, actually, and tools like screwdrivers, chisels, just about anything that needs an edge, even scissors, you could use this. And then the 36 grit to kind of polish them up. This would be the coarse. Okay, folks, I think I've given you what you need to maybe get started with making the decision that this might be the grinder for you. Okay, I want to thank you very much for watching my video.